Hey, good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever it is that you are around the world. I trust that you are doing well, being safe, and your week has been fantastic. So, this last week for me, a few things have reminded me of our need to program a positive belief and mindset if we're to address the challenges that offer us opportunities to learn and grow. The first is I watched a live interview of an old dog Spartan racer, Jim Bullard, sharing memories from some of his endurance events, and the greatest of those was his 72-hour death race. At one event, when asked a competitor to do 3,000 sit-ups, the reply was, well, I can't do 3,000. And the response was, well, can you do 10? Well, yes. Well, okay. Do 10, then do 10 more, and keep doing 10 more until you reach your target. So understanding the concept of small wins, the competitor nodded, well, okay, then, and got started. The second was the movie The Hunt that we saw reminded me of the story of the hare and the tortoise, although this movie had a much more bizarre and twisted ending. And the third incident was in our family council a few nights ago while discussing my choice system for taking change out of challenge. A few members referred to this phrase, I can't. You know, that Jedi trick that's supposed to be the blanket of acceptable answers, yet in fact is a cage that we find ourselves trapped in. When I consider the names of people who've shaped the world, and certainly my learning, Albert Einstein's friend Henry Ford has to be on that list. With his visionary positivity, the term Fordism recognises the singularly revolutionary manufacturing principles, and his name's not only on the blue oval of his vehicles but in the arsenal of every effectively motivated individual. And let me tell you why. So after successfully producing a horseless carriage and then the world's most affordable car, he wanted to build a V8 engine. He wasn't the first to build a V8, not just two four-cylinder blocks, but 8 cylinders in a single block. Now, his design was looked at by engineers who all agreed this was impossible. And his reply was, produce it anyway. And there are many quotes of similar vein about belief and possibility that are attributed to him, yet the one on record is, whether you believe you can do a thing or not, you are right. Whenever you're faced with a challenge that may seem overwhelming, insurmountable, it's never been done, or it's too hard, then remember this phrase, whether you believe you can do a thing or not, you are right. Because whether you think, feel, believe you can or can't sets the foundation for your choices and your actions. And since you get to write the program for the internal operating system of your brain, then why not create one that enables possibility? Now, I'm quite sure that less than 1/10,000th of the population of the world could articulate the process of a lunar mission. You know, the construction of the rocket, the navigation of gravity-free space, and the mathematical trajectory equations for the journey and the re-entry. Yet someone believed it could be done and turned everyone else's I can't into their success. In my family, and a few of you might know that I enjoy word games and puzzles, so let's do a bit of an exercise. I wanted to use Scrabble tiles, but we've loaned our game out, so if you have one, then it's great. Otherwise, write the letters on a piece of paper and make a word from these letters, T-A-N-I-C. And you can pause the video if you like, but let me show you what I mean. So taking these 5 letters, I want you to look at ways that you can shuffle them around into a phrase that you recognize. And I think what you'll find is that most people will come up with this. Okay, and we've talked about that. Using the framework of possibility, I'd like you to maybe consider this. You see, even though most people will arrive at that common phrase, I can't, by applying this principle of creativity, I'd like you to remember and use the phrase, can it? You see, when you ask yourself a question your mind kicks into creative and exploratory mode, and it begins to formulate ideas and concepts, options and alternatives. And because someone applied this method, we've got to enjoy, and we get to enjoy, every convenience of our modern world lives. Someone asked, can it, when everyone else said it can't, and ventured then into that dream space that is possibility. And when we passionately pursue this dream space, this possibility, it will turn into a clarified objective that the mind accepts with this message to the belief system that says, I can. And because others haven't given their mind to the option of exploring this, then they will not recognize it until it's proven. As you apply this principle of simply reframing this tool whenever you're faced with a new challenge, view it as an exciting opportunity for you to explore and celebrate the adventure of possibility that exists for you. Now, others have before and will after you because you're surrounded by evidence of their belief. I believe that as you reframe I can't into the Jedi question of can it, you will discover the powerful fuel of I can and can achieve and will achieve whatever you allow your mind to conceive, if, in the magic of Disney, you simply believe. As always, live, love, and serve.